Hey guys, welcome to the very first video. Let's just dive right in. We'll come to a seat on our mat, either in the middle of the front, whichever way you have it. And let's take a couple of breaths and close our eyes. Take note of your mood right now. Are you anxious? Are you calm? Are you ready to get started? Are you thinking about other things? Maybe come to a center point of focus, that being your breath. See what you can hear. Can you hear me? The ambient noise around me? How about you? What's going on in your room? Tune in to the outside of your body. What can you feel? Maybe your heartbeat, your breath, the floor beneath you, your hands pressing together. Now let's bring our focus inward. Just to our breath. Right, we'll take one more deep inhale and exhale. And we can open our eyes if they weren't already open. And let's stretch our neck. We do a lot with our neck. Very stiff, at least me. So I wanted to get a little bit of neck stretch in. We will bring our right ear to our right shoulder, take our right hand, and lightly place it on the side of our head, getting a little bit of a deeper stretch into the neck here. Either you can stay where you are if it feels good, or look up for a little bit of a deeper stretch in the back of the neck. Or look down. Bring our hand to the back of our head. Get a deeper stretch right here, back of the shoulder. Okay, release that. And we'll go right to the left side. And we're going to look up again if you like that. And we'll look down. Inhale our head up to center, and we're going to look side to side, getting a little stretch in the side here. We'll end on the right side, and then we can roll our head from side to side. If that feels comfortable, go ahead and carefully roll your head all the way around, not to scrunch your neck. That's what we want to avoid. Keep a length, like chin diagonal to the ceiling. And reverse rotation. breathing, and we will look up. Again, not to crunch the back of our neck. We want to keep a length back there and down. Again, forward, out. Extend the back of the neck here. Give a little bit. Why don't we actually take our hands to the back of our neck and give ourselves a little massage. Self-love is always good. Go to the back of our head here. A little tenderize. And stretch up and then come. We can even massage our face. Just lose all the tension. All right, let's dive onto our hands and knees. We're gonna do a little bit of cat-cow. So we got a little cat, or cow, excuse me, and an arch in our back and look forward, up, stretch our bellies, and cat. We want to arch. And do a couple of those, however you like, whatever feels good. You can go off the beaten track here. Twirl around. Maybe look back at your left foot, at your right foot. All right, we'll take one more breath here. And come to neutral spine. Right? Before we go into our downward dog, we want to make sure we are putting even pressure on all of our, like the four corners of our hands. So how you can feel that is like, give a little press to your thumb, your pointer finger, your middle finger, your ring finger, and your pinky. And see if you can feel all that. Let's do a little bit of circles here. We can feel all the pressures of our hands. And why this is important is because when we go up into downward dog, there's a lot of pressure that can happen and potentially hurt our wrist. And it's supposed to be a pose that makes you feel like you're coming home at rest, which let me tell you, it took me a long time to feel that. But once you do, it's amazing. And how to relieve that pressure in your wrists is by putting more pressure into your hands, understanding that full amount of floor connection. So let's do another circle right and another circle left. All right, and we're going to slowly, for just a minute, hover our knees over the mat. Again, to feel how that feels. Are we equally pressing into the ground? All right. Now let's lower our knees. All right, how did that feel? Get your feet a little twirl here. All right, now we're going to hover them one more time. Have that core connection, a little bit of strength here. Then we're going to inhale, push all the way back into downward dog. Right. Very nice. All right, so how does that feel? You can walk out your dog here, which is always fun. Give it a little press on your toes. Do whatever you feel. You don't have to look at the video. You can just, whatever you feel like. Listen to my voice, or not. That's fine. We'll take 3 more breaths and come to stillness whenever you're ready. All right, after that last breath, we're going to inhale our right leg to the ceiling here. And what we want to first do, we want to open our hips. Give it a little, feel super good. You can press that left heel into the ground and rotate our hips just a bit. Right, and bring our knee to our chest. Bring it back up just to move stuff around. When you're done, let's come to a squared hip here, and our toes pointing down. And slowly we're going to transition into a low lunge. Your right foot should be between your hands. See how that feels? Get your bearings about you. And we're going to rotate our left foot down to the knife edge of the foot to the back of the mat. Whenever you feel secure, come up into warrior one. All right, this is a very important pose. You see it a lot in yoga. And it seems like it's easy, but it's actually, once you start paying attention to little minute details and helping your posture and things, you realize it's a little hard because you want your hips to be square to the front of the room where your knee is. And then with the knee, you want to make sure you can still see your toes, but also you have like a good lunge there. So you can, if it feels weird, you can shorten your stance or you can make it longer. Whatever feels good for you. Once you come to a comfortable position, let's come to our hands of prayer position and just take a couple of breaths here in warrior one. With a third breath, let's sink a little deeper into the pose, making sure again our knee is not coming over our toes, but we want that strength and we want to make sure we're sucking everything to the middle of our body here, the middle of our mat. If this still feels pretty good and comfortable, go ahead and feel free to lift your hands to the ceiling and sink just a little bit deeper. We'll take 3 breaths in this lunge. Lunges are so important. It reminds you you're strong and you are strong in your pose and your practice and in life. You know, if you can do a lunge, you can do a lot of things. Leg strength. We'll take another breath here and transition our hands, if you move them, to prayer position again. And we're going to lean forward. Get a little bit of stretch in our lower thigh hamstring area and gluteus maximus. And if you can, step your foot in just a little bit, your left foot, and we're going to transition our weight to the right foot and leg. Now see how that feels? We want to make sure our hips again are square. You can check this out by getting your hands, putting them on your hips, and making sure it's a window to the wall in front of you, or whatever's in front of you. So again, we have a slight bend in our right leg, and our foot, your left foot you should be able to lift that and put it down. Lift that, put it down. All right. So what we're heading into right now is going to be a warrior 3. This is a balancing standing posture, very strengthening, and makes you feel strong in your head too. So whenever you're ready, let's start to bring our left foot up. Take a deep breath. Enjoy this pose. You can lean forward. Make sure if you lose your balance, don't worry. The ground will be there to catch you. When we're doing this, we want to make sure, again, we're pressing that hip down. We want them to remain square because, you know, we want to that's the feeling. We want to just open up, balance, but no. What we want to make sure everything is squared off. So let's go a little bit, try to raise that left leg a little higher. Bring your chest down. And take a deep breath here. Enjoy. All right, guys, we're going to let that go. Let's slowly transition into a standing mountain, bringing your left foot next to your right. Let it all go. That was good. Strength building for your right leg. All right, now we just got to do that on the other side. So let's just take a deep breath here. I'm going to do the middle of my mat for you guys. The thing about standing is that we do it all the time. And we kind of forget, like, our feet are important. You know, like our legs, they do a lot of work. And so remembering that, getting the strength and like stretching that out is just really good for your body, really nice to yourself, and your muscles appreciate it. So let's take another breath, feeling the ground beneath us here. Great. Now let's go to the other side here. We're going to step to the front of our mat. Take an inhale. Fingers reach towards the ceiling. Take a slight back bend if you like. And then swan dive all the way down. Have a slight bend in your knees. You can walk that out. Bending into your right, bending into your left. Let your head go. Give that a shake. All right. We're going to either step, hop, or jump back to plank, whatever you like. I'm going to do a little hop. And let's feel this out. Plank. Dun, dun, dun. This is also strength building. And the reason this is we're engaging the core, we're engaging our arms, we're fully pressing into the ground. It's grounding, but still we're like floating in the air. We have a lot of strength here. So let's take one more breath. And then you can either lower to your knees, if you've never heard of chaturanga. If you have, we're going to shift forward onto our toes and then bend at our elbows all the way down, slow, 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 and let it go. Now, we'll line up our hands right next to our chest here, mid-rib, or chest mid-rib. Press into our feet. Make sure everything is active. We're going to zip up through the middle. If it's a little rough on your lower back, feel free to let your legs go a little bit. But make sure your middle toes are touching. So we're going to inhale, exhale. Inhale, push up to cobra. You can either do a full cobra if you have more flexibility in your back. And if not, this is good too. Get a nice like workout for your arms. And we're going to meet in downward dog whenever you are ready. You can feel free to stretch it out here or just meet me in downward dog. Right, we'll lift our left leg. Again, we can open our hips here. Stretch that out. And then square them off whenever you're ready. We'll give a little core here. Sucking it in. All the way, put your knee to nose. Bring it back up. Square off your hips, and then let's meet in warrior one. Or excuse me, lunge. Again, let's feel how this feels. We want to make sure we feel connected to the ground. We feel secure, balanced. If you can't find balance as easily today, feel free to make your stance a little wider. You know, you can't move as much. All right, we'll take one more breath. And inhale up to prayer pose here and warrior one. Take a deep breath. Take the biggest deep breath you have taken all day and sink a little deeper. Again, make sure your knee is not over your toe. You can still see that big toe. Don't forget about your back right leg. Make sure that is engaged. You can feel it. I can feel it. And if you feel comfortable in prayer pose and secure, feel free to inhale your arms up to the ceiling. All right, now to warrior three. Remember, let's move our stance here a little bit closer and feel how your left leg feels. Can you put a little bit more weight into that to where you could lift your toes? Lift them. Great. Let's lift them a little bit more here. Yeah. Feel how that feels. Right? And if you feel comfortable and balanced, go ahead and lift your leg. Remember to keep pressing that hip down. We still want to remain square. And if you feel super secure in this pose and you want to go a little harder, feel free to put your arms out and reach. Balance is not my friend today. That's why we're practicing. And whenever you're ready, let's meet back in this lunge here. And we'll kick up one more time. Coming into our left foot again. I'm sure we're feeling that butt. Let's do another warrior. Looking at your drishti, your point in front of you. Got it, got it, got it. All right. Let's slowly meet back. Our right foot back with our left. And let that go. If you fell, you fell. I fell. If you didn't, that's awesome. Balance for you today. Wonderful. And yes. Inhale. Let it all go. Let's shake our legs out a little bit. Come to the middle of our mat. I'm going to take a big inhale all the way to the ceiling and exhale down to meet our toes. Let's take a little bit of a wider stance here and a little slight bend to our knees. We can walk that out. Take a little break for ourselves. We deserve it. Sway back and forth if that feels good, or just find stillness in your posture today, in your pose. Take one more breath here. We're going to heel toe if you spread your leg. Heel toe our feet back together. And take a slight bend and reverse swan dive our arms all the way back up. And we'll meet prayer. Okay, so we're going to transition into our tree pose. And so how we're going to do that, we'll start on our right foot. And I want you to look down at your toes. They're there, don't worry. And we're going to make sure we are spreading our feet wide. We want to feel, again, like what we did with our hands, we want to feel that with our feet. Each corner, 4 corners of our foot are connected to the ground. Really want to feel that strong root, like tree root connection to the floor. So once you've found that, let's transition into balancing on our right leg. Just bring our toes up. You can have them on the ground. If you feel crazy already, you can bring it up here, but let's find balance first here and our surroundings. Where are we? How do we feel? Do we feel balanced right now? If not, that's cool. If you do, let's go right into bringing our left knee into our chest. And you can catch that either behind your hamstring here or in front of your knee. See how that, give it a little squeeze, get some quad stretch, hamstring, little hip flexors. Then, once you feel good in that, let's take our left hand to our left knee and bring it to the side. Just a simple stretch, like you can bring it up a little closer, you can bring it down, just roll it out here. See how that feels. Give it a little nice stretch. Right. Let's bring it back in and release. Great. Give that right foot a little shake. All right. Now, we'll do, if you can bring it right up, your foot right up to the inner part of your leg, by all means go for it. If you, like me, you need to grab onto your ankle. Let's bring it up to our thigh here, or you can put it below your knee, just not on your knee. You can even balance yourself like this. Still the same grounding, balancing feeling. All right, let's bring it up here. And again, let's find our drishti, our point of focus on the front of us right here, front of the floor. You can keep our hands at our chests, really grounding. If you want to feel a little free today, you can fly. I'm feeling like I want to be a little grounded. Whoop! And if you fall out of it, you fall out of it. That's life. You just got to come right back. You know, and that's the thing with these videos, is like going out of your comfort zone, seeing yourself. It's a little weird. You know, it's a little weird to see yourself vulnerable. And it can be a very vulnerable position, you know. You are balancing on one leg, you don't know what's going on. But if you have your balance, if you have your focus, nothing can hurt you, you know. The ground will be there to catch you. So yeah, let's take one more breath in this position. Maybe this is my spot today. One more breath. And release. Let's come back. Let's give that right leg a good shake. Twist it out, twist it out. All right. Inhale our arms up. Bring them down. Halfway up. Release, reverse swan dive back. All right, we'll do the same thing on the left foot. So we want to make sure all four corners of our feet feel secure and pressing towards the ground. We're going to bring our right leg up to our chest. Give it a good squeeze if it feels good after balancing on it so much. Roll out your ankle. We'll bring it to the side. Again, stretch that out. Give it a good roll around. And release. All right. Bring our leg up either to our ankle, our calf, or above to our thigh, wherever you're feeling like today. We want to feel that squeezing into the center line of our body, right at the point of where our fingers connect to our heart. And if you're feeling crazy, why don't you try closing one eye? Closing the other eye. Ooh! How about closing both? It's a little weird, balance-wise. If our vision is blurry, how can we find balance? And that's something to think about. What's blurring our vision today? Is it self-doubt? Is it fear? Maybe we're just tired, you know? Whatever it is, make a mental note, you know? Take one more breath in this area, this space, tree pose. And release. Let's shake out our foot. And we'll walk out here. We'll close our eyes, come to stillness. Right? We're going to end practice today standing. It's not usually what happens in a yoga class, but I feel like we used our feet so much. And just the appreciation of being able to stand on our 2 feet. And whatever that may be, you know. Maybe your 2 feet are your hands. Maybe balancing on your hands is your thing. Maybe feet are weird. Maybe, who knows? Whatever it is, today, balancing now, standing here, is where you're supposed to be. Take one more breath. Inhale. Exhale. And thank you for tuning in today with Yoga Birch. I'm Stevie, and I appreciate you guys listening. First video, I thought it would be fun because balancing being a little shaky and new, trusting yourself and trusting the process. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Namaste.